So I just got kicked out of a domino game. I was visiting with some of the Jesuit brothers upstairs in the infirmary, and we were playing dominoes. They were teaching me how to play dominoes. I know how to play dominoes, but I was like, hey, let's just engage in a conversation with them and have them teach me how to play dominoes. I think they play differently here in Spain. Anyway, so I was watching for a little bit, and then I was playing, and then I wasn't winning. I lost like 3 games in a row, and at one point, and then the guy, the Jesuit I was playing with, kicked me out of the game. He said something to the effect of, "You lack some skills. You need to do some practice some more, and then after you practice, come back and we'll play again." Something to that effect, if I understood correctly. But yeah, I just got kicked out of a domino game, which was kind of funny. So this past week, we started our apostolic work. Part of the tertianship program is to do some work outside in the community. And my job is actually working in a retirement center, senior citizen center, really, more like it. It's this huge facility, Residencia de San Rafael is what it's called. It's about a 5-minute walk from here. And I basically... I start in the mornings on Saturdays, and I help feed them breakfast. I change beds. I help them go to the bathroom. I celebrate Mass. I give communion to those who can't go to Mass. I kind of make the rounds to the various floors to visit with them and give communion. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work actually, and it's physically and psychologically draining to kind of walk around this huge facility. And at the same time, it's really grace-filled. A big part of it is because some of these ladies especially remind me of my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother, who was the first person who taught me how to pray in Spanish, believe it or not. So my great-grandmother on my mother's side is of Spanish-Italian descent. And so one of my earliest memories is her teaching me how to pray in Spanish, the Catholic prayers in Spanish, the Our Father, the Hail Mary, and the Glory Be. And so some of these women remind me of her. And so it's like, it kind of touches my heart to be present to them. At the same time, there's that language barrier, so I struggle really connecting with them. But I'm going to be there. I'm going to be visiting with them for the rest of my time here. And so I hope to have the opportunity to really build some relationships and get to know some of them and just enjoy their company. And I hope they enjoy mine too. But and then part of the day is also been spending time upstairs with the guys, and so that's, like I said, I got kicked out of a domino game. So we'll see the next time I visit if they'll let me play. So I ran out of space on my phone, and so I'm reshooting some of this video. What I didn't get to say in the other part of the video was what we've been doing this past week in tertianship, which has basically been telling our own autobiographies. After reading St. Ignatius's autobiography, one of the things we learned in Ignatius's autobiography was that it wasn't really an autobiography per se, and more about a spiritual diary of how God has been working in his life. It's been a great experience so far. We've got, I think, 3 of us down, 4 more to go. By the way, 1 more person had joined us since the last time I had posted something. The guy from Mexico, his name is Mario. He arrived, was able to get his visa, and so he arrived last week, and he's been kind of adapting himself to the new time zone and everything, and also getting to know the rest of us. We've been together for 2 weeks, and he's coming in 2 weeks afterwards, so it's a little bit, it was a little bit challenging for him, but I think he is now in the groove of things. So we've been sharing our stories. The 4 moments that I pulled out were my birth, where essentially proved that miracles do happen because I was born dead. The second piece was my discernment retreat, where I discovered or encountered Christ and Christ's love in a very deep way, in a very real way. And the third was my ordination retreat, where 2 weeks before ordination, I had this experience of a prayer experience of God reminding me that so long as I stayed close to His heart, I would everything would be fine, and that my priesthood would glorify Him and so far so good. Thank God. A big part of it was realizing that I had been living most of my life in the tomb of my own making, with my own brokenness and my own sinfulness and my own past, that I kind of hid inside the tomb. And he was just telling me, I rose, I saved you, get out of the tomb, and live joyfully. And the last part was my discernment to Boise. Those of you who know me from Boise know this story very, very well. And so I shared that story of my discernment and my prayer experience with Christ, carrying Christ's cross, and Christ sharing with me that this cross that I was taking upon myself, even though I was resisting going to Boise, this was the cross that he wanted me to carry. And at the time was Boise. And it has been, or at least the past 4 years that I had of ministry in Boise were the best years of ministry in my life. And so these 4 pieces of 4 graces that I have experienced in my life were what I shared with the group. That miracles do happen, that Christ is in love with us, and that we must live our lives joyfully, and that when Christ invites us someplace, to just trust that all will be well, and things will turn out better than we had ever imagined. That's about it. So thanks for listening. Continue to pray for me, please, and I'll continue to pray for you. And as always, I'll see you the next time. God bless you.